afternoon, and good morning, because somewhere around the world, that's what time it is. We're going to get into the news and talk about some things and just simplify some things and give you a different perspective on our take of what's going on. But before we get into that, we're going to get into this.
Please do remember that the New Right Party channel and the New Red Party show is sponsored by patriots like you. And as long as you're sending these donations, it allows me to create the content that will continue to make these motherfuckers sick. As you were.
He's on fire!
First is the family and my family entertainment and his team no sleep. Flossy high and yeah we made it. The haters keep on hating on the songs that we be making, and I heard they want my soul Illuminati wanna take it. First is the family and my family entertainment and his team no sleep. Flossy high and yeah we made it. The haters keep on hating on the songs that we be making, and I heard they want my soul Illuminati wanna take it.
CEO, bullshit, paying for the pussy, I endorse it, riding through the city, that's my off.
Yeah, we getting that timing down packed, man. I love it when things come together like they're supposed to come together, when they come together like shit. Shout out to everybody in the building. All the early Wolfpack members in the building. I'm gonna shout you guys out. Love seeing you guys in the building. Oh man, you already know what I'm gonna tell you, man. We got a lot of things we're gonna break down, talk about, just simplify, just make some sense of some shit. If you don't know what time it is right now, well let me motherfucking tell you.
Protect the sheep. You got to catch the wolf, and it takes a wolf to catch a wolf. You understand?
Bring that back. Bring that back.
To protect the sheep, you got to catch the wolf, and it takes a wolf to catch a wolf. You understand?
All right. Yeah, it takes a wolf to catch a fucking wolf. And today, that's what the fuck we got to do. But first thing first, I want to give a big shout out to my brother Brandon Tatum. This is something special that was done. What I'll do is let me go into the situation real quick. This was something that was done during Turning Point USA that we did for him that he didn't know, and we just gave some kind words to him. It was an honor to be a part of the event. It's an honor to call you my brother. It's an honor to call you my friend, and I'm grateful that I got to know you, in this life right now, brother. And I really look forward to what we can actually have accomplished for this nation as we move forward. And I can't wait to see you run for office, because I honestly believe that you're gonna win.
Brandon, you are my brother, man. I love you. You're amazing. I'm so proud of you. I'm so thankful for you. I'm so glad that God put us together to be arm in arm in this mission that we're in. You've done amazing. This entire conference event is historic, and you're at the helm of it. So it's been an honor to work with you. I'm so excited for the future. Thank you for all that you've done and all that you did to help make this weekend amazing. God bless.
Hey Brandon, this is Tony X. Brother, I just want to tell you that you personify what black excellence means. You personify what it is to be a black leader, a black man, and I am proud, I am blessed, and I thank God that I have you as my brother. I can't wait to see what the future holds for us and for our people. for all Americans. And I thank God for who you are and for him bringing you to Turning Point USA. God bless you, brother. I love you with all my heart. Tony X.
Brandon, I just want to say that this has been the most incredible event, and I only hope that I can help orchestrate something similar for Hispanic outreach. Everything that you've done has directly impacted the lives of so many, and I can tell you that when I've spoken to the people that have attended, that there will be people that will go out and not only become activists, but potentially pursue political careers because of this event. So congratulations. You've done amazing. You embody everything it needs to be a leader, and I say that being that I myself have been in a similar leadership role as you have in the police department via the military, and you are just amazing, and I am very thankful to be working with you.
What's up, Brandon? We love you, man. Just great work on this event. Just want to say thank you for all your hard work behind it. Candace, myself, the whole team, we're just so thankful for you. Keep fighting. It's just been amazing to see you grow as a leader throughout the last couple months, and this is just the beginning.
Brandon, my partner in crime, my brother in this fight, the one person who believed in my vision and helped me execute it way back when, before anything blew up for me. You truly believed in me. You had my back when everyone was coming out and attacking me. You were the one person that held me down, and now we get to execute this beautiful vision together. None of this would be possible without you, without late phone calls, therapy sessions of me venting and screaming about all of my frustrations, and you somehow bringing the calm, the eye of the storm of politics. Thank you so much for everything that you do. I'm just so blessed with your friendship and your partnership.
Definitely wanted to say thank you to my son, Brandon Tatum, for putting on this event. He did a great job, and a bunch of great speakers, and very impressed with what he's done. I'm very proud of you, Brandon.
You know, I want to tell you, Brandon, that, you know, my dad is gone. My dad is deceased. I really do love the shit out you, bro. And I'm so happy that your father gets to see his hard work and how much of him he instilled in you. He was a firefighter, brave man. You know, I honestly don't think that there is anyone braver than a fireman, in my opinion. Because often when you get the call, it's serious. You know, cops face life-threatening, situations, but a lot of times it's disorderly. You know, there's things of this nature. But a fireman, he has to go in the building to save somebody. It's a horrible way to die, trying to save somebody. And he raised you to be a cop. You know, the guy that goes out and that will deal with the guys, the bad guys, and the disorder. And it just shows that there's great opportunity left here, man. As long as we truly want to take advantage of it and we want our children to have something from it, we can have it. So I love you to death, bro, man. I'm proud of you, man. That shit comes from the bottom of my heart. I'm proud of you. And I'm really honored to call you my brother.
Tonight, the turmoil at our southern border. Dozens of migrants now have been arrested. Hundreds more are believed to be criminals and gang members and traffickers. Others merely in search of a better life and economic opportunity. But all are now demanding passage into the U.S. And the people in Tijuana, they have just had it tonight. In moments, we're going to break down the risks and costs associated, what it means for you with illegal immigration. And we will expose tonight the mainstream media's hypocrisy. It's stunning, surrounding Ivanka, Comey, email, Hillary, hysteria, all the hypocrisy on that, and also Michael Avenatti. Plus, now that the dust has settled, we're going to put the midterm results in perspective and tell you why the media never wants to talk about it. The big blue wave was a little ripple. We'll tell you why it didn't materialize, and we'll show you how one failed Democratic gubernatorial candidate is becoming the world's worst sore loser. A lot to cover. It'll take the full hour. Thanks for being with us. We start with our breaking news, opening monologue. All right, breaking just moments ago, we learned that President Trump has submitted written answers to the special counsel, Robert Mueller, and the president's attorney, Jay Sekulow, issued this statement, quote, the questions presented dealt with issues regarding the Russia-related topics of the inquiry. The president responded in writing, Rudy Giuliani adding, quote, It has been our position from the outset that...
What the president should have done was the president should have had me answer the questions for him, because then when they would have been like, have you done any business with any Russians? I would have been like, no, dumbass, but you already fucking know this because you have my phones tapped a year even before I became presidential fucking candidate, Trump. You dumb, stupid little bitch. Even before I was president-elect Trump, you had my shit tapped. So no, you know I don't know none of them motherfuckers. And then I would have had them take that and make it so I could stamp it, and that would have just been my direct answer on every question. I would have just took the stamp and just stamped it like that. I would just stamp the next one like that, and then it just went on, same way,
Much of what has been asked raised serious constitutional issues and was beyond the scope of a legitimate inquiry. This remains our position today. The president has nonetheless provided unprecedented cooperation. The special counsel has been provided with more than 30 witnesses, 1.4 million pages of material, and now the president's written responses to questions. It is time to bring this inquiry to a conclusion. Make no mistake, huge win tonight for the president and his legal team. His attorneys were pushing for written answers. That means no subpoena fight, no subpoena before the grand jury, no in-person interview, no year-long fight headed towards the U.S. Supreme Court, no perjury traps. And keep in mind, these were all questions. None of them were about obstruction of justice. Why? Because there never was any, just like there was never collusion. Instead, Mueller focused on this Russia collusion, and time again, the president's already answered these questions, denied any collusion, any conspiracy, any coordination with any foreign government, especially Russia. And so now this has just become a formality. Now, after spending nearly 600 days, the investigation might soon finally be coming to an end. The media hysteria, conspiracy theories, well, they'll just find something new to lie to you about. Now, if we really care about truth and equal justice in the United States today, well, tonight the door is wide open. Hillary Clinton's bought and paid for, dirty Russian dossier filled with Russian lies, rampant FISA fraud, abuse committed, using those bought and paid for.
That got FBI agents fired because of it.
For Hillary Russian lies, literally fraud committed against judges to get subpoenas or get warrants against Trump campaign associate Carter Page. And then after that, the coordinated leak efforts to literally lie to the American people, propagandize them, misinform them, so that would influence the 2016 election. That all now needs to be investigated if we really care about Russia collusion and equal justice under the law and equal application of our laws. And tonight, the Mueller probe, well, that seems to be winding down. Well, the New York Times is reporting that Trump wanted to order the Department of Justice to prosecute James Comey and Hillary Clinton. Now, does that sound like breaking news to you? Because it isn't, it shouldn't, and because we know how the president feels about Hillary and Comey, and we know Hillary committed crimes. It's not even in dispute. And of course, the anti-Trump haters over on Conspiracy TV, MSNBC, and Fake News CNN, acting like they found it. They've been looking for 2 years, and now they found it. Maybe they could have listened to his rallies that they wouldn't cover when they were yelling CNN sucks and lock her up. They would have learned something there. Take a look.
This is what happens in authoritarian countries. The president orders, the leader orders the investigation and prosecution of his political enemies.
I think it's prima facie evidence of abuse of power.
This is absolutely off the charts. Donald Trump is...
Every American is saying this right now. Right motherfucking now. When they heard that they said, investigate Hillary... That's right. That's what every American just heard. Every American just started clapping their fucking hands, and they started crying about it. They was crying because they don't want that dirt to come out.
Basically running his office like he's the head of a banana republic.
I think this is a scandal at 15 on a 1 to 10 level. He was essentially trying to use the apparatus of the state to punish his political enemies.
He never did anything. Never. Ever. It's a phony story. Fake news. And when the story broke, by the way, we reached out to Greg Jarrett for his reaction. He said, how is this even a story? He's right. He'll join us later with much more. Now, during the 2016 campaign, then candidate Trump repeatedly said that he wanted Hillary Clinton prosecuted for her email server scandal, and Clinton and Comey both should have been investigated. We only investigate Trump, I guess, in this political climate. He gave Hillary Clinton the nickname Crooked Hillary for a good reason. Let's be honest. She should have been prosecuted. The single easiest obstruction of justice case, slam dunk, that I've ever seen in my life. You know, when you delete subpoenaed emails,
when you steal $10 billion from Haiti.
Wash the hard drive, bleach bit, hammers, devices. And by the way, Comey's actions legally need to have been looked into and should be. And when we come back also tonight, later on in the program, we'll have Senator Graham joining us. He'll weigh in on all of it. Now we turn to the situation with Saudi Arabia's crown prince. Now pay close attention. This is going to be very hard for liberals and the media to keep up with. I want them to pay very close attention. The murder of the Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi was reprehensible. That is evil. And
But we cannot directly say the CIA is correct in their findings, because the CIA is trying to also type destroy the president and other conservatives. We know that the CIA runs Facebook and other organizations that are fucking targeting conservatives. So we're not going to sit here and believe what the fuck you say because you say the intelligence community says so. The intelligence community says Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction, and that motherfucker ain't have a pocket knife in his pocket when they found him in a ditch that he dug himself. Literally, they told you that he had weapons of mass destruction. Said they knew where it was. This is what the intelligence agency told you. This is what they said. They're also telling you that there's fucking Russian collusion between the president, and there is none. Same people. Same motherfuckers that are telling you this shit. So we're not going to just listen and say, hey, the Saudi Arabian prince had this one guy specifically killed and ordered and killed. They found 17 guys that actually killed this dude, and they're being held responsible for their actions. I don't know, what more do you want? Is this whole country supposed to go to war because one person was murdered? Because if that's the case, why the fuck aren't they flipping out with 1,900 babies being aborted every fucking day? I rest my case. The media is full of fucking shit. Every last one of them. They're trying to have a war start. That's the only thing they give a fuck about. They're fucking war hungry. That's what they want, and this is the one thing this president is trying to avoid. You get it? There hasn't been peace in over 80 fucking years in the peninsula of fucking Korea, and now North Korea and South Korea are shaking hands and fucking actually talking. They haven't talked in over 80 fucking years. We are sitting here watching this man do so many incredible things, and then watching these devil motherfuckers try to destroy every single one of his accomplishments and act as if they're fucking asinine. They're full of shit. We're well aware of it. We're going to skip past the Saudi prince. Let's get to Hannity's history lesson.
In the Middle East. Let me explain this. And it brings us to a quick Hannity history lesson. As a country, we have to make a lot of tough, very, very difficult strategic decisions. Not like putting millions in your pocket like, the Clintons. And deal with a lot of immoral and even in some cases evil international partners. I'll give you one quick example, World War II. We struck alliances with Stalin, a mass murderer in Russia, the former Soviet Union. That evil dictator would even go on to murder more people than Adolf Hitler. But the survival of America and Europe was in jeopardy. And during the Cold War, we partnered with dozens of brutal dictators to violently squash the spread of the evils of communism. And now Saudi Arabia, similarly, a horrible regime, but there's a key alliance that is now in place, and that would be the United States and Israel and Egypt and Jordan, and also, the Saudis and the Emirates. And what is the alliance against? Iranian hegemony. Iran is currently the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. They're funding numerous proxy wars. And if the mullahs that chant death to America, death to Israel, and want to wipe Israel off the map, if they ever get nuclear weapons, millions and millions of people can die. So we have to make a strategic decision. We can't take that risk. In fact, the current alliance, again, the U.S., Israel, Jordan, Egypt, the UAE, the Saudis, they've been a crucial force in checking this Iranian hegemony. And this is the alliance that we now need to stop these radical mullahs with their radical threats from ever getting their hands on nuclear weapons. Still, many on the left, they're in meltdown mode over the president's handling of Saudi Arabia. You know what? Where have they been? Former Obama, U.S. ambassador, Samantha Power, tweeting, quote, "It is a mean and nasty world, but Trump's siding with the meanest and nastiest out there, whether, El-Sisi or Putin or assassin MBS, will leave the world even nastier. This statement is a green light for would-be murderers in countries that have things that Trump thinks we need." How about a history lesson just for you, Samantha? Maybe you forgot about your time in the Obama administration because it was Barack Hussein Obama who sent tanks, F-16 fighter jets, over $1 billion to a guy by the name of Mohammed Morsi. Remember, he was with the radical Muslim Brotherhood that rose to power in Egypt. Morsi, the guy that once referred to people in Israel and Jews as the descendants of apes and pigs, and the Muslim Brotherhood also funding terror around the world. And by the way, that's your boss, former boss, Obama, who partnered with them for no strategic reason. Obama gifted that guy billions of dollars, material support, planes, tanks, and cold hard cash. And we can't forget that, Obama also partnered with the radical Islamic mullahs in Iran, the #1 state sponsors of terror. In a horribly flawed nuclear deal, the U.S. sent $1.7 billion in cash and other currency directly to the mullahs. Yep, the same people that plot the destruction of Israel and the United States on a daily basis and think God is instructing them to do it. And
why do you think Obama put over $100 billion on an airplane and took it to Iran? Doesn't that sound like hush money? Maybe they had something on that president.
Treat women and Christians and Jews and gays and lesbians the way they do. So Susan Powers, spare us the feigned, phony, selective moral outrage. And remember, as I pointed out earlier, Hillary Clinton totally ignored the Saudis' treatment of women, gays, Christians, and Jews for millions of dollars in cash because they bought her silence. She's never criticized the way we have regularly on this program. So today, with Iran now posing the single biggest threat to the United States, the Middle East, and the world, this strategic partnership with Saudi Arabia is too important, if at all possible, to dismantle. If we can keep it together, it's smart. It's incredibly complicated, incredibly dangerous in the Middle East. And on top of that, the Saudis are spending hundreds of millions of dollars on weapons purchases that, by the way, both Russia and China wanted, and we got. And that means what? We're going to make, let's see, Putin and the leaders of China rich again? I don't think that's a good idea. And take Americans, their jobs away from them? I'm not willing to do that. And do we want to help out, put a new alliance together? Let's see, the Iranians, the Syrians, China, and Putin and Russia? It's a dark, evil, ugly world at times, far more complicated than what liberal networks that hate Donald Trump even, taking a breath could ever possibly understand. All right, we have to turn to another situation closer to home. For weeks, we have been sounding the alarm about the massive caravan of migrants marching toward our southern border. And we have tracked them through Central America as they broke down Guatemala's border fence, stormed into southern Mexico. We followed this journey north towards the U.S. border and warned about possible gang criminal infiltration. We showed you how the Trump administration prepared for the approaching caravan. Thousands of active duty troops were sent to the border. Razor wire was deployed to bolster the fencing, and new barriers were also constructed. And hardworking U.S. Border Patrol agents stepped there. For a while, they were ignoring the migrant caravan and accusing Republicans of fabricating this phony crisis in the lead up to an election for political gain. Others called it all a conspiracy theory. Obama laughed at the idea in one event that he was speaking at. No, it's a real situation with real consequences. We now know our own DHS and leaders in Mexico saying that over 500 criminals are now traveling with the migrants. And according to a New report, law enforcement has even paid undercover informants to address members of that caravan for offenses like public intoxication, disturbing the peace, resisting arrest. But despite all of this, a federal judge yesterday in San Francisco, what a shock, dealt a blow to the president's border security efforts and the rule of law, striking down his temporary asylum ban on those who don't apply at a port of entry. See why holding the U.S. Senate and the president out campaigning and we picking up seats the first time in 100 years, a sitting president that gets the White House is able to do this in his first midterm election? And as I've been telling you, the majority of people are just searching for a better life. I get that. But we've got to vet anybody that wants to come here. 500 criminals infiltrated, walking with the caravan people. It's even why Mexican people now are protesting the caravans and saying they've been invaded and echoing President Trump's tough talk on the border. Take a look.
Donald Trump is right. This is an invasion.
Private email account. This goes back to the Center for Immigration Studies. Illegal border crossings are up, and comes with it a massive price tag for the American people. Well, 15 months ago, she was new on the job, new to Washington. All the emails have been handed over to the federal government. They're saying this is like Hillary, although they never criticized Hillary. Nothing's been deleted. A non-story. No classified information. But Hillary Clinton, when she was conducting State Department business with a private email and stored her email private in a bathroom mom and pop shop tech company, many on those emails she sent and received were deemed top secret. She lied to us. We can prove the lie. Thousands of emails were deleted. Nobody had ever heard of BleachBit, but now we know what it is. And guess what? None of these were turned over to the federal government. And the media remained silent. They covered for their friend the Clintons. And now they're treating Ivanka like, you know, the non-story, like the biggest scandal of the century. What a bunch of phony hypocrites. Take a look.
The arrogance, the incredible arrogance, as with a little measure of stupidity.
It's possible that she's just considered a princess and totally separate from the rest of the rules that the American government and the president's cabinet and advisors go by.
When the new Congress gets sworn in, the House Oversight Committee, they need to seek nothing less of Ivanka Trump and her lawyers than the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
They really are a mob family. They basically took what they were doing in the business, the Trump organization, and brought it to the White House and didn't care at all with what the rules were and what they can and cannot do.
I wonder if she know, because someone told her she heard the transcripts herself. Because as far as I'm concerned, no one heard the transcripts themselves. And they were done through the White House. They weren't done in the closet. But it's funny how the left is talking about this. And Hillary Clinton deleted 30,000 fucking emails.
Yeah, they didn't cover Hillary's crimes. We know she committed crimes. This is hypocrisy in action. This is why so many Americans don't trust the people in the media, nor should you. It's destroy Trump every second, every minute, every hour, every day. And they're just hypocrites. 2 weeks ago, remember the media ignoring the story? James Comey was using private email for FBI business. Basically crickets. You didn't hear the same type of criticism. And it's the same reason that members of the media now totally ignoring their former BFF, Michael Avenatti. For so many months, he was the poster child on cable news, fake news CNN, conspiracy TV, MSNBC, spreading vile claims against Justice Kavanaugh that they were spreading and believing. They believed. And guess what? He's now the left's. All of a sudden, they've changed their guilt by accusation motto, the new standard they created in America. Yet no one in the mainstream media, all of Avenatti's friends, well, they're pretty much silent and pretty much not saying anything. So what is that?
Because if you're on the left, you can beat a bitch up and it don't mean shit. Or you can beat a woman up and it don't mean shit. You can beat a baby up and it don't mean shit. You can force a women, bitches, children that have sex with you and it don't mean shit. It's covered up. Oh, I got some shit I'm about to drop soon on my IG, man. This is about to get real ugly.
What does that mean? It means the issue of sexual assault that's so serious, that's not what matters to them. Because if it did, they wouldn't be best friends with the Clintons, would they? They wouldn't have worshipped the media, been worshipped by the media as they've been. And Keith Ellison would have been vetted and called out. The issue really seems to be important of sexual assault or charges like this only if they can bludgeon a Republican. Then there's no due process. Then there's no presumption of innocence. Where's all the outrage on these channels? Their best friend. Now, if you're on the left, the rules don't apply to you. One set of justice for them and the guillotine pretty much for everyone else. And the mainstream media's post-election spin doesn't help either. Delusional liberals, the media, they're now trying to pull a fast one on the American people, saying that Trump has been rejected. This has been a massive blue wave. His presidency has been contained by some imaginary blue wave. In historical terms, it was a trickle, with some Democrats refusing to even call the election legitimate, embraces that.
In historical terms, it was a spill. And one roll of bounty got it up. The quicker upper.
Didn't go their way. We saw that in Georgia in the governor's race, where Brian Kemp won and won outright, but Stacey Abrams.
And this bitch had Oprah, Barack Obama, you fucking name them from Atlanta. She had T.I., anybody you could fucking name, and Trump beat they ass. Okay? You understand that, people? She's telling people give up their fucking guns, and you got guys outside with guns. She's talking about they for her.
Said Georgia did not have a free and fair election, and Kemp dismantled democracy. Really classy. Sounds like sore loserism. The Democrats did, of course, pull out some victories in the midterms. According to Fox's count, the Democrats, they won 232 seats in the House compared to 199 for the Republicans. 4 races yet to be called. They picked up 37 seats for the Democrats. But they lost all those seats, and Claire McCaskill's out, and Heitkamp's out, and Nelson is out, and Donnelly is out. Oh, yeah. So President Trump, if you actually look at numbers in history, did considerably, massively better than the previous 2 Democratic presidents. 2010, Obama's first midterm. Dems lost 63 seats in the House, 6 seats in the Senate. 94, Bill Clinton lost 52 seats in the House and 8 in the Senate. Now, bear in mind, the Republicans actually added to their Senate majority. And by the way, that number is likely to grow. Next week, an important election. If you are in Mississippi, that special election.
Responding after a federal judge blocks new rules denying asylum to immigrants who attempt to cross into the United States illegally. The administration saying they will fight this ruling. This is Outnumbered, and I'm Melissa Francis. Here today is Harris Faulkner. Fox News contributor Katie Pavlich, Fox News contributor Jessica Charloff, and joining us on the couch today, the host of Bulls and Bears on the Fox Business Network, David Asman, and he is outnumbered, but not really,
because we're like
there's some bears on Wall Street today. I saw Apple is a bear today.
The bears are running
stock.
like crazy. Yeah.
Whoa!
It ain't good. It ain't good. It ain't pretty.
Right.
I mean, I can't count as big as you can, but I can see 598 points fall.
No, it's a nasty day in
It's
the
going to
street.
come back.
All right, we'll see.
Always
well,
does.
We'll see.
Even
Always
during the
does.
Depression, it came back.
There you go. The Trump administration pushing back on the judge's decision amid the showdown at the border. Homeland Security and the Justice Department releasing a statement saying, quote, "Our asylum system is broken and it is being abused by tens of thousands of meritless claims every year. And it is absurd that a set of advocacy groups can be found to have standing to sue to stop the entire federal government from acting so that illegal aliens can receive a government benefit to which they are not entitled." This, as the Department of Homeland Security is warning that more than 500 criminals are traveling with the migrant caravan that's massed on the other side of the San Diego border crossing. In the meantime, new video of hundreds of migrants in the border city of Tijuana, Mexico, waiting a chance to apply for asylum in the U.S. Also, the Pentagon is reportedly beginning a drawdown of troops along the southern border starting this week. But the U.S. Army North, in a statement, saying it is continually assessing our resources, and no specific timeline on possible troop redeployment has been determined. In the meantime, the head of the National Border Patrol Council sounding the alarm on the security dangers and praising the president for taking on the problem.
when President Trump says that there are bad people coming across the border, there's proof, there's hard evidence to show that that is in fact the case. And so we have to be concerned about those people that are trying to cross our borders illegally or trying to game the system by claiming asylum at the ports of entry. What we've seen him do is beyond what any other president has done, and he's trying to tackle this issue that he inherited. And frankly, I think we're going to get a handle on it.
David, Democrats said it was a campaign ploy, that the president was all over this, and now I guess that's not true unless he's still campaigning for the midterm.
Well, there's so much to unpack here. I mean, there's what's happening down in Mexico. There's the legal, first of all, the legal case. President Obama in 2016 lost a case in the Supreme Court. It was actually a 4-4 decision, but he lost it because at the time we were one justice short and the decision stayed. Whenever a president does try to change immigration law, it's a very iffy thing about how the courts are going to respond. If there's a national emergency, and the president will probably make that case, perhaps he can, that a country has the right to designate points of entry to come into this country. If a person happens to get in here illegally, it may change his application procedures as far as asylum. On the other hand, there is a law saying that no matter how you got here, you're allowed to apply for asylum. So it's a very iffy thing about how. The one thing that's not iffy is the situation on the border is getting dangerous. I would be surprised if they move all those troops out. I know that this general said that, but they're going to need something there as more than 10,000 people, which is the number now, begin to flood into the border region. They're going to have to tackle that situation one way or the other. And the Mexicans right now are tackling it. There are Mexicans who consider it an invasion right now. Mexicans themselves are saying that. They're very unhappy. They're beginning to commit some violence against some of the people that are coming in because they're concerned, the Mexicans are concerned that there are these bad elements in the caravan and they don't want them in their town.
Can I just speak to the military for just a second?
Different front, reports of management turmoil as the company struggles with recent controversies, the big step that some are calling for founder Mark Zuckerberg to take now.
Here. Mm-hmm. Fox News alert on the tech stocks, which are plunging this week already. Among them, Facebook, which stock has been down rather for months as founder Mark Zuckerberg is facing new growing scrutiny. It's over recent reports alleging management turmoil as the company faced multiple controversies, including the Cambridge Analytica data harvesting scandal. Now, Washington Post media columnist Margaret Sullivan is calling for Zuckerberg to step down. Quote, if Zuckerberg really wants to be responsible for what happened here, he'll step aside as chairman and encourage some stringent internal oversight. And as part of that, true transparency to the public and the press. Facebook, whether it wants to admit it or not, is in serious crisis, end quote. Peter Ducey, live in Washington. So, Peter, I know the stocks in just the last few minutes have bounced back a bit for Facebook, but whew, it's been a chilly morning for them.
And Harris, every lawmaker on Capitol Hill has a Facebook page, but now some of them are very alarmed by reports that Facebook basically did opposition research on their harshest critics and other reports that suggest the PR battle may have taken precedent over fixing Facebook's flaws so they can't be taken advantage of again by Russian bad actors trying to stir the pot. And there have been bipartisan calls to regulate Facebook. It hasn't happened yet. That's something the New York Times is suggesting has to do with Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, with a report that says Schumer told top Intel Democrat Mark Warner to back off the social network, where Schumer's daughter happens to be a manager, and executives have poured tens of thousands of dollars into his campaigns. The Schumer spokesperson is pushing back, though, saying Senator Schumer has worked aggressively to push Facebook to do more to purge fake accounts and bots used by the right wing and Russians to perpetuate a disinformation campaign and interfere with our elections. Schumer has worked
on the right, not the left,
that Facebook would bow to pressure from Republicans who oppose the purging of fake accounts and bots, and has urged Senator Warner and the Senate Intel Committee to make this the top priority in their ongoing investigation of the company. And Mark Zuckerberg, for his part, insists they're doing their best.
I've said many times before that we were too slow to spot Russian interference, too slow to stand it, and too slow to get on top of it. And we certainly stumbled along the way. But to suggest that we weren't interested in knowing the truth, or that we wanted to hide what we knew, or that we tried to prevent investigations is simply untrue.
Zuckerberg has testified on Capitol Hill about what Facebook is doing to avoid being used by bad actors in 2020. But lawmakers.
You mean by suppressing conservatives? Listen, people, these people are full of shit. Nothing new about it at all. Period. I'm gonna go. I gotta go. I gotta take care of something. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. It's it's a short show. I didn't really get to get in, but stay safe, stay healthy, stay American, and remember, fuck the other side, bitch. We don't care.